Oh, hello. Anybody there? This is Bix. I just had to show you the chemtrails. Check it out. All over Oakland, California today. San Francisco, Bay Area. Craziness. Total, complete craziness as far as chemtrails. Those are geese, by the way. You want to see those too? You want to see the skateboarders breaking all the rules? Over there. I love it. The skate rats, they know what to do. So, I can't even see with these on. If you guys have any chats, just put them in the chat room. Yeah, I woke up today. It was pure, beautiful sky. Beautiful blue sky. I'm like, oh, it's going to be a great day. And then they started about 8 in the morning. One chemtrail. I go, wow, that's a pretty big chemtrail. Then another one. Boom, another chemtrail. Then another one. Boom, another chemtrail. Then one coming the other way. Chemtrail. And then I walked to town and voila, we have a cloudy day now. So that's what the world we're living in. Very scary. Is it important to keep an eye on this stuff? Absolutely. Is it important to understand what they are? At times I think yeah, and at times I think no. If you go to roadtoroad.com and go to the resources section of the website, there is a paper, I think it's called A Message from Daniel, about kind of the origins of chemtrails from the 50s and 60s, why they wanted to do it, and why it was going on. It was to reflect the neutrinos because they didn't want the Earth to expand, something like that. It has to do with the sun. Whole lot of sun stuff coming out. If you guys have seen my latest Cliff High video about ET and Corona and all that stuff, it's scary. The latest crypto viewing, the target was as scary as can be. So yeah, we're in the middle of this transition. It feels weird. It feels crazy. Hey, Bitcoin Ben is here. My friend Ben. Thank you for the super chat, Ben. Well, I almost deleted Bitcoin Ben. I was trying to click on the super chat, but let me see. Let's see what Ben said. Run for your life, brother. They're trying to get you. I know, but I'm not running. And yes, I've been doing a lot of videos of very dark and dire prognostications from everybody, from Cliff, from the crypto viewing guys, from everybody in the world. You got Jeff Berwick saying, this is it. They're taking our freedoms. I love Jeff, and I know where he's coming from, and I'm getting more and more on the Jeff side. But I do recognize that there are other agendas going on. So it's kind of like one of those things, hey, what do you do? Do you live in a bubble, or do you go outside and live your life? And I made the decision to go outside and live my life. And I will fight for the principles that I believe are true and correct, and good principles to fight for, even if I'm not going to win. Even if I can't win, and the dark forces of, Gates and whoever did the coronavirus thing, and the evil controllers that Dick talks about that have controlled our lives for 20 years, or even if I can't win, when I look back on my life, I want to look back and say, hey, I fought the good fight. And that was my video this morning, and I'm going to keep doing it. And I do think we can save our country. I do think we have a God-given sovereign immunity, sovereign right to fight for what we believe in and how we want our lives to be. And if we don't win, we don't win. But I'd rather look back and say, hey, what a great fight I put up, than look back and say, oh, I managed to survive the criminal world that they set up for me. So I will continue to fight the banksters. That's kind of my specialty these days, is exposing the criminality in the banking system, the manipulation of markets, and how everything is kind of stuck that way. But it doesn't have to be. So I'm going to be exposing that, and hopefully after the crash of the economic system, after we reboot, after we issue whatever currency we might be issuing, I'm going to be fighting for free markets. And free markets meaning no derivatives, no rehypothecation of shares, no criminality in gold and silver and cryptos and the stock market, the bond market. Wouldn't that be nice? And you can do it with decentralized exchanges. You can do it with Veritasium. You can do it with all kinds of methods and ways. So, yeah. Somebody, hey, $5. Thank you for the super chat. Let me see if I can get this. Night vision goggles source. How can I buy a new or used one? If you go to about in this video for Road to Ruta, you do about Road to Ruta. I put where the night vision goggles that I have. You can get it on Amazon. It's like $4,000. They're very expensive, but there's a link there on the about section of my YouTube channel, and along with where to get C60. Actually, not C60. Yeah, it might be. C60's in there. Colloidal silver generators. Vitamin C and stuff like that. But thank you for the super chat. All right, let's see what we got in the chat room. This is hysterical because that is not a fake background. That is a chemtrail behind me. And this is what that'll turn into in the next 5-10 minutes. A cloudy sky. Crazy, right? I know. So, all right, let's see. What are we talking about in the chat room? A whole bunch of people out there. Crypto Nana, what up? She's a riverboat gambler turned, I don't know what she is these days. Look out for Nana. Just finished listening to Jeff Berwick. He's got a point, eh? Yes, Jeff Berwick has a great point. Can we survive in a Jeff Berwick world? Most people probably could not. And you know, according to Jeff, that's the way it should be. Hey, if you need the deep state or the state to help you, maybe you shouldn't be here on planet Earth. I'm kind of different that way. We've been conditioned for too long. There's got to be a transition safety net. But this whole thing of paying people for sitting on their ass, and a lot of people are saying, hey, I get more money this way with all the bailout programs than I would going back to work. And they're deciding maybe I won't go back to work. That's kind of scary. So, yeah, that's how you turn into socialism, into communism, into the destruction of your way of life. And that's what I'm fighting against. So we'll get out of this at some point, and most likely we'll be wearing masks for 3 to 5 years. Got no problem with that. I think if you're a mask designer that doesn't source their product in China, I think you're looking at a good future. I think there'll be some really cool masks that are designed. And you should be wearing masks. Absolutely. This bioweapon is very dangerous. But it shouldn't stop your life. And there are many agendas at play right now, like many crazy agendas. So just be careful of who you follow and things like that. Yes, I am in Montclair, California. Those who know, I'm in Montclair Park right now. There's quite a few people out, actually. They're social distancing within their little communities, although the skateboarders look like they got 8 or 10 people over there. I don't know what the Gavin Newsom, what edict he has laid down about how many people are allowed to stand together, but I'm sure they're breaking it. Good for them. Good for them. Yeah, Gavin shouldn't be telling us what to do. Nobody should be telling us what to do. Hey, if you want to risk it, go outside. If you don't go outside. That's simple. I do suggest everybody load up on liposomal vitamin C, chaga mushroom, get your immune system in order, and then wear a mask when you go out, gloves, and do all the things you need to do to protect yourself, because this thing is pretty deadly. And it is a bioweapon, but it's not going away. So we either destroy everything about the United States of America and stay in our little bubble, or we go outside. And it looks like people will start in the next month or two to go outside. And of course the left will say, oh my God, look at all the deaths because people went outside. And then we're gonna have to make decisions. But most people aren't gonna go back to their old jobs. That old way of living is gone, unfortunately. So we will see. All right, what do we got going on in the chat room? May 15th. Not sure what May 15th is. Red states need to secede. No, everybody just needs to do what the Constitution gives you the right to do. You have full constitutional rights to go outside if you choose to, or stay inside if you choose to. The whole printing of money thing, all it does in the Road to Ruta system is increases the speed at which the whole system breaks down. Remember, infinity money is what we're coming to, and that's where everything breaks down. So We will see what happens. Oh, I got Paige Goodyear on the line. Look out, Paige. Don't be talking shit in the chat room if Paige is in town. All right, what else we got? Are you a Skyline Titan? No, I didn't go to Skyline. Although it's close to here. I went to a different school. Let's see. Got lockdown extended this last Friday in Michigan. Just saying the state is halted until then. Yeah. Actually, it's gonna take the people coming out putting pressure on their government, especially in the Democratic states, for them ever to open up. They would rather just stay closed. That assists in some of their agendas to get a different president in, to overturn the social system, get free basic income for everybody, things like that. So they're trying not to open, and they'll delay that as long as they can. It's going to take the people jumping up and down saying, oh my God, we won't even have a state to return to if this keeps up. And there is a give and take for going back to work and risking your life. But that's, life is like that. You risk your life when you open up the door and take one step outside. You risk your life inside as well. But just got to know, everything's going to be different. The jobs you thought you had, you're not going to have anymore. I saw an article in the Wall Street Journal just today that was talking about all the beer kegs that were ready to go. Like $1 billion worth of beer kegs ready to go for St. Patty's Day and March Madness and all that are just sitting there. And there's a huge problem with that because beer only lasts 2 to 5 months. And if all the beer kegs go, and they don't have any kegs, so all the kegs were filled up. Now all the brewers are saying we got no kegs because all this beer is in the kegs at certain places and it's not getting drunk. So that's going to go bad, and they're going to have to empty all those kegs to get the beer out so they can refill the beer when it's time to refill the beer. Yes, beer is very important in my life, but that's just one example of so many things that are going to be different after this is over. If it is ever over. Again, life is a process, not a destination. And all the sporting events that were gonna consume all this beer, baseball was gonna open up, and it's a big deal. And even if the brewers are saying, okay, my beer's going bad, but I got to refill, they either got to buy new kegs or get the old kegs back, empty them to refill them with the fresh stuff. And there's gonna be a lot of people drinking skunky beer when this thing opens up again. It's just one of the many things, and you can look at your job and say, okay, how will my job be affected, for example, if restaurants don't open again? Most restaurants, I think, will stay closed, and will go out of business. The restaurants don't operate with a big cash surplus on the back end so that they can shut the door for 2 or 3 months or 5 months, or when will social activity come back into the way it was? I don't know. It could be years, especially if they're talking about the kind of resurgence of the bioweapon come the winter. I don't know. It'll be interesting, but if I were you, and I'm telling this to everybody, think about different ways of making a living. Because don't think about what happened in the past. We're not going to have taxes, which would be great. They can't necessarily say, hey, pay your taxes on money that you didn't make, and oh, by the way, we're printing trillions of dollars to giving them to different people, and they're basically, if you're in the middle, the rich people can survive this. The people on the poor end are getting more money than they would have made anyway, but if you're in the middle, you're getting screwed. If you own a business, a small to medium-sized business, you're getting screwed. The larger businesses are getting bailouts. And don't even think for a second that the money that's trying to get into the hands of the people by way of the banks is not being used by the banks first. So, the virus isn't a hoax, it's a bioweapon. So if you deal with it like that, you'll survive. If you don't, it'll build up in your system and you'll go down. The numbers are a hoax, yes, and there's all kinds of agendas going on, yes. China lied about how many died. China had millions dead. The U.S. is lying about how many died. The U.S. hasn't had millions die. So there's a lot of false narratives going around, but the bioweapon was released in China at that time. It did the damage it did in Wuhan. You know, will it be released somewhere else next time? Probably. They'll probably take that bioweapon and stick it somewhere else because it was an entity. Somebody did it, and somebody's going to have to pay, if you ask me. Anyway, it was deliberate. Yes, I believe it was deliberate. But it wasn't as simple. There's many agendas going on. Many agendas. And nobody's got the answer. And it wasn't a total hoax, and you do have to take precautions. Even if let's say that all the scientists are wrong, Cliff High is wrong, all those people didn't die in China, all those people, it's just a normal virus. Even if it was that, do you really want to take that risk? No, I mean, this has been my argument all along. We're not going to know. It's kind of like 9/11. We didn't know it was a false flag until after, months after it happened, for the most part. And then you find out and you're saying, oh my God, it seems so clear now. I think that'll be, about a year from now, the virus thing will be very clear to people. But right now it's still up in the air and everybody's using it for their agenda. Brad, thank you for the super chat. What are your thoughts on nuclear plants? Will they build more moving forward after the Vogtle 3 and 4 project? I don't know anything about it, but I'm sure you can send me an email, bix@road2ruta, and tell me about it. Looking, as far as food is concerned, yes, you should be stocked up. You should be growing your own food. Absolutely. So do that, because they're announcing now that all these meat packing plants are having to shut down. That's going to mean you're not going to get any meat, and that's a great source of protein. So really think about how you're going to feed yourself for the next couple of years. Ben Dover, love the name. $10. Thank you, Ben. Ben Dover. Is this the same Ben Dover that went to the Road to Ruta shows? I remember trying to get your real name for the guest list. Ben Dover. Love that. Okay, another super chat. Thank you. Silver. What is it? Hold on a second. I'm having phone issues. Silver Encrusted. Thank you for the 5 Aussie dollars. Have you heard of Karen Hudas? Yes. Caretaker trustee of the people of the world, Global Gold. No. Karen was a low-level legal department at the World Bank. Tried to make a name for herself. Wrote a lot of letters. She's in charge of No Gold. She basically got taken over by it's kind of like the Global Collateral Fund people, and everybody's got their own agenda. The Nesra people, the Jessra people, they all think, even the Iraqi dinar people, they all think they're the ones who are going to be the deciders. They're the ones with the answers. No. Karen had none of the power that she claimed she had. And even if she did, it's not going to be the World Bank or the IMF that are deciding the rules after the banks crash and the system goes down. It's exactly the opposite. There'll be no trust and faith left in those institutions, just like there's no faith in the WHO anymore. And that was crushed by the way they handled the bioweapon. So, no, Karen Hudas is a fun little story, but that's about it, in my opinion. Now, you can believe anything if you want to, and it's up to you. I'd look into the collateral funds. I'd look into Nesra. Look into Hudas. Determine whether she does have as much pull as she likes to say she has, and then who are the deciders, and then that'll basically say, that's what I did with Karen. And I'm like, yeah, you're full of shit. So, if anything, she's a tool of the deep state in their games. That's my take, at least. All right, Kathleen, Universal Postal. Hold on a second. Where was that? Universal Postal Union, UP, United Nations, XRP, Ripple. Now, XRP and Ripple, my take is if the banks go down, there will be no XRP. XRP will go to zero because that's what the banks want to use in their transition. Do I think the banks will continue to get bailed out? Do I think they can survive a derivative meltdown? No, I don't. And I do not think in the Road to Ruta documents, no, the banks don't survive. Money needs to be reallocated after the crash. So I don't think XRP the only way XRP will do well is if the bad guys in the banks stay in power, and I don't see that happening. Cliff doesn't see any power remaining at the end of this. I'm hoping the good guys reallocate money in a certain way, but we'll find out, right? Let's see. Amy Weir says, answer, bend over. Ben, what'd you ask? I have this stuff flying over my screen. Okay, will insurance companies go out of business? Yes. I'm concerned about a whole life insurance policy that I feel should be surrendered, but I'm worried the cash value will be lost when they go out of business. Yes. All insurance companies, basically the way insurance companies work, they take their premiums in and then they invest them. And they have certain things they can invest in, which is the same thing that all banks and financial institutions and certified financial analysts will tell you to invest in. That's great when everybody's investing in the same shit. When everybody tries to get out of the same stuff, that's when they crash. So yeah, no insurance company is going to survive the crash. So that's what I see. Now, this is not financial advice because they'll beat me up for that. So take it. If you think an insurance company can survive, you got to look at their books. What do they invest in? That's how insurance companies make money. They take your premiums and they invest in certain things. That's why Buffett was so good at when he took over. What was it? What was he own? Wasn't AIG? Was it AIG? It was one of the insurance companies because he's a great investor. That's what you do in an insurance company. You invest the premiums and you hope you do better. But no, nobody's going to do better in that world. Silver, 10,000 by the end of the year, maybe. Who knows? Silver's never been freely traded. At least in the last 150 years, silver hasn't been freely traded. So I think silver won't be allowed to go over $30 until after the COMEX shuts down. We almost saw the COMEX shut down with the oil and gas contract last month. We'll see if it lasts through May. My inside sources say no, the COMEX won't be around by the end of the year. So then we could see very high prices for silver, but there probably won't be an exchange where they say, hey, silver's this much. It'll probably be your local coin shops, and yeah, I'll give you $600 for your silver. Crypto Nana, throwing out the cash. Riverboat Gambler. Litecoin will be the belle of the ball per old Cliff High's Alta Data reports for this year? ? Yeah, I'm not worried about Litecoin. As a means of exchange might take longer, but the other things that, Cliff was seeing Litecoin useful as other things. And I do see Litecoin being much more useful than Bitcoin, and just as sound. So, and the key to Litecoin to me right now is it's massively undervalued in relation to Bitcoin. The way it's built, the way it's structured, the way that Charlie Lee created it is 4-to-1. 4-to-1, there's 4 times as many Litecoin as there's Bitcoin. So if we think that they're both synonymous, which I would say they are, they're very close to being synonymous, and I would think that they should be expressed that way in, at least right now. When we need a means of exchange, that changes. So they should be 4-to-1 now, which would put Litecoin at $2,000 instead of the $40, right? So that's my take on Litecoin. I know that makes Crypto Nana happy. All right, Lortizindum. Sorry, I can't see that. My eyes are going. What do you think the odds are we get true silver price discovery in the next 3 months? I think the odds are that the COMEX will shut down in the next 3 months. Price discovery will mean an exchange will have to start up other than local coin shops. So, yeah, I think the odds are good that the COMEX will shut down. But after that, who knows? And everything's pointing towards May, June for the collapse of the system. So we will see, right? Thank you for the super chat, though. $20. Thank you very much. Tech Shot says banks won't go away. Okay, keep your money in there. Tech Shot, go for it. Have a day. End of Fed 2011 says DGB is my biggest bag. I like Digibyte, but I don't think it's going to do the best. But I like it. They're nice guys, nice people, a decent structure behind it, but not great. I'd rather hold either Litecoin or Bitcoin Cash as a means of exchange for the future. But that's me, right? Sam Samuels, he said that American banks will be okay for around the same time length, 30 days. Who said that? American banks could go down at any moment. Well, one bank goes down, all of them go down. One of the too big to fail. So Deutsche Bank goes down, all the banks go down. Same with, I hear Credit Suisse is having problems. All banks are having problems, obviously, by the $3.3 trillion bailout since what, September 11th of last year. Okay, Martin Armstrong. Yeah, I like Martin. There's certain things I don't think he's truthful about, like his early writings when he was in jail. He said, he wrote them all down on a piece of paper, all these historical facts, and supposedly he didn't have access to books or a computer or anything. Nobody could get that detailed in their history right off the top of their head. And so I think there's things about Martin Armstrong that we're not being told. Yes, I think he tapped in early to the Fed's computer programs, Alan Greenspan's computer programs, and that's why his economic model works. He tapped into it to understand the rigging of the markets back in the 70s, and he has used that to tell the world what's going on. I like Martin Armstrong. He doesn't understand the Roto-Rooter theory. It's been run by him a couple times. No. Because he didn't do any research and he didn't even look at my research. Didn't even comment on why the Fed would be writing that stuff if it's not true. So we'll see. All right, Crypto Angel's in the house. What's up, bud? Oh, I think I owe you a signed music box. Send Amy your address so I can send you your signed music box. That's from the Litecoin Lisa fundraiser, I believe. John Paul, is there a way to pay for the private road by the month? Or is it only full month price? Yeah, you can get all the videos on the private road on Patreon. For the Patreon Plus, it's $25 a month. So yeah, $25 will get you everything in the past. And if you keep paying $25 a month, you get everything on the private road in the future. And it's just really videos that I'm doing right now on the private road. All right. And yes, the Cliff High video is up there. It's very depressing. There's your word of warning. It's extremely depressing. I kept fighting. There's got to be a way out. There's got to be a way out. But I pretty much failed in my... But his insight is unbelievable, especially the second half, which is about the ET and aliens, which links up with the crypto viewing guys. And boy, that's scary stuff. When Cliff High and crypto viewing data matches, I'm very scared. Full of hope. Thank you. I'm full of hope, too. Full of hope. What is your question? I gotta learn how to use my phone. In Ireland, I'm being asked by farmers to teach crypto. Yes, absolutely. Those of you worried about your job, get into the crypto world. You can learn it real fast, and you're not going to feel like you're the expert, but when you talk to people who haven't studied it at all, you are the expert. Bitcoin Ben's talking a lot about that on his Patreon channel. He wants to get people working. He wants to get people working in the crypto world. And you don't have to be brilliant. Trust me. Talk to anybody about cryptos who doesn't know about cryptos, and all you have to do is explain what a Bitcoin is to them, and they'll say, "Wow, you're so smart." So, and it's not that hard. The best higher education in cryptos is called YouTube. You can go to YouTube to the search function, and you can ask any crypto question. And this is something the crypto people were really good about in the early days. Any crypto question you want, and you're going to find the answer on YouTube, and you're going to find a pretty good explanation. But watch a few of them, because there's some people, if anybody says, "Hey, give me your private keys and I'll show you how to use it," don't do it. Okay? Never give your private keys out, ever, no matter what reason. You should have 10 people that you swear that before you give anybody your private keys, you got to ask permission from those 10 people who know cryptos. Because there's a lot of con artists and frauds. And there's a lot of fake Roto-Rooter sites on Twitter, I hear. "Hey, I've been emailing with Bix." No, you haven't. You've been emailing with some fake account for the most part. And I would never tell you where to invest your life savings. I don't do that. I said, here's what I did. Yes, I did a self-directed IRA rollover with perpetual assets. And that's been one of the best things I've ever done. I got out of the system, got my assets in my own possession. But if you see some fake Road to Ruta account saying, hey, you give me 1 Bitcoin, I'll give you 47 Bitcoins and in 5 days, and you can trust me. No, that's not something I'd say. So it ain't me. It ain't me, no. I want to do more. Oh, wait a minute. I got to get it here. Throat Punch says, anyone invest in copper coins? You know, back in the silver and gold days, I bought, Amy can attest to this, I bought some copper bars. I think they're 20-pound copper bars. That is not a good way to invest in copper, first of all. Second of all, if you're looking for something to weigh down your safe, yeah, invest in those. But no, copper's not that much of a shortage, and there's not as much manipulation in copper as the precious metals. Now, silver has been manipulated for 150 years. Would you rather buy a bar of copper or a bar of silver that one day when this COMEX shuts down is going to go through the roof? I'm a copper agnostic. But they're so heavy, I haven't even moved them, so I have, I think, 4 20-pound bars of copper. I don't even remember where they are. So no, I'm not a fan of investing in physical copper. Bix, did you do a video on Theta? I've done quite a few videos on Theta. I love Theta. Theta is a great crypto to own for the future, massively undervalued right now. The people behind it know what they're doing in broadband, and one of the founders was a founder of YouTube. Now, YouTube is a deep state operation created in the late 90s by a guy named, now I forgot his name, but I have the patent for it. It's in 1999, Mark Collins Rector. Huge pedo dude. So I am not a fan of YouTube, but yes, Theta I am a gigantic fan of. Samsung is knee deep in that company. I think they're going to adopt the Theta blockchain as their blockchain for their assets and their company. They have stated that they want to run a lot of things off the blockchain, but they don't want to own the blockchain. They're a large founder of Theta, and I think Theta is about to go literally into the thousands of dollars within the next 5 years. Now, yes, who said that first? Michelle White Dove in her early, this is America's greatest psychic. That got me interested in it, and then I started looking at it and I go, holy crap, it's broadband. It's decentralized broadband. What are everybody in America doing right now and having to do for the next 3 to 5 years? Stay home and watch Netflix. Can the servers keep up? No. Will these centralized server companies even be in business? Probably not. So decentralized broadband is the way to go, and that's why I think Theta is going to do extremely well. And you can mine Theta Fuel on your laptop, which is really fun, and you can be a host of a broadband host with the Theta Fuel mining. So go check that out. It's on the Theta Medium post. They have a channel on Medium. I think it's called Medium. Yeah, go check it out. And Theta's trading it, like it was 7 cents the other day. It's 10 cents now. I do think it's gonna live up to Michelle White Dove's predictions of over $1,000 Theta. Wow. So we'll see, right? Is the halving already priced in? Well, the exchanges are rigged. The price of everything is rigged. So don't look at it like, is it priced in based on what? Fair market value, or based on, can the manipulators set the price of Bitcoin to zero or $100,000 with the click of a mouse? Yes, absolutely. They're not trading real Bitcoin. Look at the exchanges and look at the volumes. So yeah, is it priced in is the wrong way to think about it. Yes, they can put the price of Bitcoin to zero. They could probably even put the price of Bitcoin into the negative. If you don't believe me, go look at oil. It's unlimited the amount of Bitcoin sales you can do on these exchanges because they don't have the Bitcoin. It's all rehypothecated. So, Sam Samuels, how are the banks still surviving? By manipulation, of course, and by a lot of the derivatives don't come due for 30 days. The oil derivatives are going to be just devastating in May. So they might not make it past May. But the way they're surviving is the Fed has given them since 9/11/2019 $3.3 trillion. And they still need more. So they'll probably, my estimate for the last 5 years has been they're going to need 20 trillion to even kick the can down the road a couple more years. So look for ever increasing amounts of bank bailouts behind the scenes. I keep track of them on the private road. And yeah, we'll see. Crypto Chris Carr, the oil only went negative because the traders didn't want to take delivery. No, it went negative because the derivative that they call the price of oil was not valuing a barrel of oil. It was valuing a barrel of oil plus the delivery mechanism. So if you have a derivative on anything, you know, the prices, like, take a barrel of oil. In the United States, 20 million barrels are consumed a day, or were in the past. Probably 10 now. But on the COMEX on, what was it, last Thursday, 5 billion barrels of COMEX contracts traded. It's fake. Can they set it to zero? Yes. Will they set it to minus $100 come May 19th when the next contract's due? They can set it to whatever they want. Minus 100, minus a million, plus 100, plus a million. It's all rigged. Given that Trump told Mnuchin to fix the oil market a couple days ago, I absolutely think they're going to rig the price somewhere. And it's going to be official rigging, so it's going to be very powerful. I mean, the day after Trump told Mnuchin to fix the oil market, that's when they had the 5 billion barrels trade in a single day. It's insane. So if you're asking about price, the first thing you got to start with is manipulation, and how much can they manipulate? It's crazy. Yes, they can put a million sell orders on every, a million Bitcoin, 21 million Bitcoin sell orders on every exchange on planet Earth, hit the sell button, all of them sell to zero, and then they shut down every exchange. That's how manipulated they are, and that's how much power these guys have. Does that mean I'll sell my Bitcoin? No. Because people will see it for the fraud that it is. We got a super chat. Colorado Coin Hunter, thank you. Coin Hunter, I love that. Get out there with Snippy and start looking for those what is it? The silver or gold doubloons out in the Southwest. Yes, I made up with Snippy. We are going to go on another treasure hunt. I'm not sure if the guys are coming, Dave and JC, but JC's a busy guy. He's like a YouTube star now. He's up in Canada, and they're not going to... Canada's more socialist than the U.S., so they probably won't unlock Canada for a while. Oh, Paige, good job. It's my employee, Paige. Thumbs up. Everybody give me a thumbs up. And if you aren't subscribed, hit the subscribe button. YouTube's been knocking down my subscribers, and they like to hide the road to Ruta. For some reason, I don't know. Hardware wallets, I saw someone ask. I like the Ledger Nano S is good. I like Trezor. But use a few of them. Make sure, though, with a hardware wallet, you buy it from the manufacturer. If you buy it from I got a dollar cheaper over here, they probably embedded their own program so that when you load your coins, they steal it right away. So make sure it's from the manufacturer. Most of the manufacturers put a seal on the box and everything. But you gotta buy your hardware wallet direct from the manufacturer. Now, if you're making paper wallets, there's levels and degrees of safety. Always make it offline. If you're really into cryptos, buy yourself a printer that never goes wireless. Always use a cable, and a cheap laptop that you can load the program into the laptop, so that's all they're ever used for. And don't enable Wi-Fi at all, because if you really want to be sure that your coins on a paper wallet have not been seen by anybody else, you can't have it going through the air. That's just how paranoid I am, and that's how I make the Road to Ruta coins when I send those out. Right now we're giving away Veritasium. One Veritasium and a silver coin for every private room member. And yes, Veritasium is the lottery ticket. the SEC and the Trump people took down Reggie and his coin because it's too useful. It could have fixed the criminal banking system, but they didn't want that. I'm still hanging on to my Very, absolutely. I got a lot of lottery tickets right now. And if Cliff's data comes true and Veritasium is used by all exchanges to prove that they're trading the real thing, Cliff's data has it going 1-to-1 with Bitcoin. So, woohoo! Then I can get my RV. Never give up. Amy question. My question was, if all the banks and insurance companies fail, is he saying it's every man for himself? Won't people be killing each other for food at that point? That's one of the big dilemmas right now with, the stuff I read on Cliff High's site, and when I talk to Cliff High, and when I talk to the remote viewing guys, that was what they see coming down the pike. Cliff says it's going to be worse than Mad Max. And I'm like, how can it be worse than Mad Max? He's like, because in Mad Max, at least they were in groups of people. So he says, we're not going to be in groups of people because of the virus. You get the point that in certain kinds of world, do you really want to live in that world? We're all going to die one day anyway, right? A lot of people would choose probably not to participate in a beyond Mad Max world. But that's, if it gets that far, you do your best. I'm not planning for that because I don't think I wouldn't want to live in that kind of world. Where you can't see your family, your friends, your neighbors, and a lot of people I hear, not a lot, but some people are going out into the woods with plans to just shack up in the woods for 5 years until this thing blows over. But what kind of world will you be coming back to if you're correct that the Mad Max world kicks in? And I don't know. Again, it's not the destination, it's the journey. So I'll do what I can to protect myself from the virus. I don't plan on staying inside, as you can tell. I do plan on continuing to take my liposomal vitamin C, my chaga mushroom, wearing a mask when I need to, just to lessen the viral load. And Cliff had talked about that, the viral load, meaning it's not just getting it once and then you're cured of it. You get it, you slowly, in the bats. Here's the way Cliff described it in the bats, in the Wuhan bats. They get little bits of the virus and then it builds in their system. And when they have enough to attack the host, because they're lacking the vitamin C, they will attack. If you're chock full of vitamin C for a while, you can keep this thing at bay, and it goes away after a while. That's why you have to keep the vitamin C going. Liposomal vitamin C gets absorbed a lot better than the regular vitamin C, 80% versus 20%. So if you're taking regular vitamin C, take 10 times what they say. Vitamin C doesn't hurt you if you take too much of it. You'll get the runs, then you've had a little too much. But yeah, I don't plan on a horrible future. I plan on fighting for a good future. And I think, and we can all do that. Does Theta have a desktop wallet? Yes, they do have a desktop wallet, and they have a great mobile wallet too. And the Theta blockchain is really fast. I like it. As you can tell, I like Theta. And any cryptos I buy now, I'll buy like half Bitcoin Cash and half Theta, half Litecoin and half Theta. Everything's half this and half Theta. And I do own Theta Fuel as well because I mine Theta Fuel. I don't think Theta Fuel will do as well as Theta, mainly because everybody's going to have Theta Fuel who's going to be playing video games using the bandwidth of the Theta system and things like that. So there's going to be a lot of Theta Fuel, and everybody's going to be mining Theta Fuel. So there'll be a lot of Theta Fuel out there in the long term. So I like Theta better. That's my take. All right. Let's see. Steve, good shall overcome evil. I am a firm believer in that. And that's a credo that I live by. And yeah, I understand where all these guys are coming from. how the bad guys have controlled us for all this time, but that's not why I came to Earth, to succumb to the bad guys. I'm not gonna bend over for them. I might die trying, but hey, we all got to go at some point, right? And I want to look back at my life and say, I fought the good fight. And that's kind of where I want to be. Anyway, I got to get going. Thank you guys for joining in on the conversation. Holy crap, 551 people. Bix, do you still believe the good guys are winning? Yeah, I absolutely know they're good guys. This coronavirus thing has put a huge, the bioweapon has put a huge wrench into the good guys' plans. Can they overcome it? Yeah, I think so. Is it going to be as easy as it would have been had they, tried to fix the problem months ago? No. If they arrested the bad guys earlier, this wouldn't be happening, is my take. Angel, thank you for the super chat. Anna von Reitz, right? Have you heard of Anna von Reitz? And what's your view? Yes, I have. And no, I'd put it in the same category as, good research and does she have a legal standing and all that? Absolutely. Does it matter worth a damn going into the future? No, it doesn't. I put it on the same category as Karen Hudis, as the Nessra Act, the Jesser Act, as all the stuff, all the plans that everybody has. At the end of the day, none of that's the legal system isn't going to be in place to enforce it. I don't care what laws. Like people say, oh, you're when you were born and you got a Social Security number, you're the property of the deep state and blah 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 blah. It's bullshit. They can say that if they want. I was born a sovereign human being. I'm not going to believe it, and I'm not going to do what they say. Yes, according to Dick Allgaier and his guys, yes, I'll probably, be thrown in jail for not doing what they say. But what a way to go, right? Why not go to jail or be killed fighting the good fight? And no, I never gave up my sovereign immunity to any legal document from the past. And Anna, I'm sure Anna von Reitz is absolutely coming from a place of goodness. But if you don't have an army to back up your legal piece of paper, it's just a piece of paper with some pen on it. And these documents were written hundreds of years ago. It's complete bullshit. Bullshit. I call bullshit. And that's how I plan on going forward. Thank you. Angel M, thank you for the $1.99. Yeah, okay, I gotta get going. I'm on a walk. My gotta keep the blood pressure up. I'm on a diet starting in when is it? Monday. Not a diet, but a cleanse. I need a cleanse. So if you guys want to do the cleanse too, go to Amy. Put up the website. What was it called? 21 Reboot. Raw 21 Reboot. Raw, the number 21, and Reboot. And Amy made an amazing website for the cleanses she did before. Lots of great recipes, lots of great information. Go check it out. Raw 21 Reboot. And I need to lose more weight. Lose some weight. Lockdown is very fattening. Anyway, love you guys. You take care. And sorry if I didn't get to your questions, but I will be back at it. Probably take tomorrow off just for a little mental sanity. And you guys take care. Talk to you later.